on a submarine somewhere in the South Seas.
Attention! Captain on deck!
Man.
At ease, men.
You know what's crazy is every time he comes in here, he's always requiring so much attention. I get he's the captain, but fuck.
Who's talking?
Sir, no, sir.
All right, boys. We're on a very important mission.
Did he call me boy?
You.
That is what I heard.
Boy. We're all boys here, right?
I mean, technically...
Speak freely.
Technically, Captain.
Seaman.
Technically, Captain, they do allow women on submarines now, so...
well, you know, boys to me. You're all boys to me.
Smell that?
Okay,
You know
so
what?
our mission,
Okay.
there's some enemy threats here.
Sir, before we go any further, permission to... let's just say, permission to raise the submarine, only because...
Speak freely, sea woman.
I think we have too much gas
There's
in the boat.
There appears to be a leak, sir.
I
I feel like every time he grunts, it's another wave.
Why do you, Seaman? Do you have something to say?
What was on the menu, sir?
I think we all had the chimichangas, and they were.
Sir,
Captain, permission to speak freely again.
Yeah, go ahead.
There appears to be some sort of a noxious scent.
I don't smell anything.
I don't know how you could miss it.
it's like the next thing of propane and sea monster together.
I feel like we may have
Well, we
hit...
might be going up against some sea monsters. What did we hit?
Sir, I feel like... did we potentially run aground into a sewage treatment plant?
Are we in Lake Monticello, sir?
Anyone else smell anything? No, sir. I don't think anyone else smells anything.
Well, I don't know that they're standing close enough.
And I don't think their nostrils work. It might be allergy season.
Listen, what are your jobs on this vessel? Please refresh my memory.
Sir, I wipe the fins, sir.
You wipe? Then why are you here?
Waiting for the submarine to stop so I can continue my job, sir.
Okay, and you?
I tend to... Well, I operate radar and sonar. Yeah, there's a definite issue going on.
Okay.
Ensign, do you feel like potentially this could be the captain?
This is
I don't want to wish it on anybody.
All right, boys. I think the guy who wipes the fence shit his pants. I'm starting to smell something.
Sir, you can. I think we should all just pull our pants down. We all should check, just to make sure.
Well,
Yeah, hold on, I'll check.
all right. You guys can. No checking. You know what? No checking.
Oh, okay.
Should we change out our uniforms, sir? Should we put our all whites on?
Somebody needs to. I think you specifically, fin wiper. I don't even know if you're supposed to be here.
Yes, sir.
You.
Yes.
I want you to take the submarine up, and we're gonna throw the fin wiper in the ocean so he can clear his pants.
Sir, I do think that would be the wrong thing to
Clear
happen.
his pants.
Sir, I'm gonna object.
We're going up.
I'm just
Down periscope, up boat. We are doing this.
I'm gonna object because he's already told me he can't swim, sir.
He can hold on to the fin that he's wiping. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Well, just lift the boat, and then we can
open the vent.
I hope you're bringing the boat up so that one guy who
All right.
wipes the fins can go ahead and. Oh!
All right, submarine breaching. Something breached.
Yeah, definitely.
The All About Nothing podcast may have content and language that isn't appropriate for some. Listener discretion is advised. I'm Ami from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast, and this is the All About Nothing podcast. Recorded from the podcast studio at GOT Sound Studio in Lexington, South Carolina, with Trent Clark, Zach King, and Barrett Gruber.
All right, welcome to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Zach King, Trent Clark. Welcome again, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Happy to record with you guys again.
Happy again, man.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes.
Right back at it again.
Anything interesting to report before I jump into the business?
Oh,
No, nothing? Okay, good. No. We'll just leave it there. Trent, you don't get to say anything. Everybody, please subscribe to the show. Subscriptions drive our searches. That's how we get new listeners. Also, please consider supporting us financially by visiting patreon.com/theallaboutnothing. And to make it easier on you, you can head over to our website, theallaboutnothing.com. There's a link at the top of the page. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts and you think we're worth it, go ahead and give us one of those 5-star reviews. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give us a thumbs up or share it with all your family and friends. And follow us on Twitter at AAN_pod to interact. Real quick, before we get into the meat of everything.
Pause.
We do have pause. We do. Our friend Trent Clark here celebrated his birthday just prior to this recording.
45 years old.
So we do.
I made it around the sun again, man.
We do want to wish Trent a very happy birthday. This is This is your 32nd birthday.
32nd, man. 32, man.
32.
Climbing up the ladder, the Great Wall of China.
You were born in, I think we discussed
91.
1991. And what was the name of the street you grew up on?
That was Dr. Bowers Road.
Great. And I know you told us before. What was your mom's maiden name?
It was always Clark.
It was always Clark. Okay.
Yeah,
And
right.
Social Security.
And could you potentially give us the name of your first pet?
First pet? That would be Jedediah. Goddamn Jedediah.
Happy birthday, Trent.
Thank you.
We're very happy that you made it through another year.
Trent, black don't crack, man. You don't look any
man.
over the age of 20, man.
Thanks, man. You know, whenever you're not stressed about life, you know what I'm saying, it shows. So
Is that what it's like? Okay.
yeah, you can't stress about life.
Shout outs also. Thank you very much, John Kostas, for the Fireflies update that he gave us. We're going to try and bring those to you every week. And I get that there are a lot of people around the world who don't know who the Columbia Fireflies are, and you guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, you heard it. Okay. Basically,
Well, they have a website address to go to listen to Mr. Costas.
that's right. You can go to the ColumbiaFireflies.com and listen to all of the Fireflies broadcasts. So you ought to do that. Also, again, it is the best of the 2023 Columbia, whatever. And by the time that this episode drops, the nomination period will have ended. So
It's imperative.
It's very important.
our hope is that we got enough nominations to get us on the list of the best local podcasts. So hopefully we're on that list. I really, really hope we are. And then we can update the website to be able to have you all go vote for us. So
Right.
that's what we're looking forward to. I guess I'm going to just jump into it. Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox News.
It was because of you, Barrett.
You think so?
Yeah, because you was like, well, he's getting away with it. He's still on there broadcasting like he didn't say anything in his text messages. And then a week later, him and somebody from CNN gets fired on the same day. And then they hired the same lawyer.
So if you're living under,
They did?
Yes, they have the same exact lawyer, the same lawyer that took care of Cuomo
really,
and got his settlement.
dang.
Well, I think that Don Lemon should have gotten to say goodbye.
Well, when it was announced on Fox News, it was a complete shock to nearly everyone that was attached to the pseudo news group. Tucker Carlson apparently had no idea that Fox was planning on canceling because on his last episode on Friday, he said, "See you Monday." I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah, you gotta watch your words, man, when you don't know the boss.
He said, see you Monday.
there
Bill
is
O'Reilly's like, they got me with that, too.
there is no denying though. I know that they tried to play it off on Fox, saying that they parted ways, that both they separated amicably, but no, Tucker Carlson was fired, and he was fired because he had no idea it was coming. The other anchors didn't know it was fired. But apparently, it's not just because of the $787,000 $1 million settlement that they're having to pay. It's also apparently
Yeah, there are lawsuits coming.
Yeah, there are allegations of sexism.
Oh, I'm using this button today.
Sexism and bigotry among his staff. Apparently, there's a woman who used to work for Fox News on Tucker Carlson's staff. Not a slur, not implying anything, but she has filed a lawsuit against Fox News and Tucker Carlson, accusations of sexism, misogyny, bigotry, and racism. She says that she has more than 90 recordings of conversations with Tucker Carlson that prove that her lawsuit is valid. It follows on the wave, though, of the $787 million settlement being paid to Dominion. And just so everybody knows the history as far as Fox News, Roger Ailes, of course, was fired, and removed from Fox News Corp, I guess, for allegations of sexual harassment. Bill O'Reilly, of course, was also fired for sexual harassment. Yeah. which was settled for millions of dollars.
We'll do it live.
Now, the rumor is that the decision to fire Carlson actually was made Friday night after his last show and delivered Monday morning. It's also important, do not forget, Tucker Carlson was also responsible for holding the Speaker of the House position that Kevin McCarthy was finally elected to after 15 rounds of voting. That Tucker Carlson apparently played a role in getting him elected finally. McCarthy made a deal with Carlson that he would release 40,000 hours of footage from the January 6th insurrection and handed it to Carlson's staff. Video that Carlson's staff then went through and found a good 11 minutes or so of footage that showed calm and order, completely ignoring what was going on. So,
and according to Bill O'Reilly, disgruntled Fox employee, which is the only reason I listened to this clip, he's saying that the woman you had mentioned had told Tucker Carlson that she had this footage. And that if they weren't given basically money for it, that she would release it. Now, that's legal blackmail.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's about the only crutch that old Tucker Carlson is going to have.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he'll probably have to get paid out of his contract.
He's definitely going to get money out of his contract. There's definitely a severance that it has not been disclosed as to how much money he's going to get having been fired from Fox News, but there will be money coming to him. And honestly, I recognize we're not done seeing Carlson.
No.
I mean, we're not done seeing him because he will bounce. He still has his podcast.
He'll go to One America or something.
All he has to do is do a YouTube show with the same thing.
Yeah. Ultimately,
I'm sure that I'm sure they own his name.
And all the right-wing politicians will have to clear their browser history to figure out how to YouTube Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, probably.
They called him like Jesus. He did nothing wrong.
What do y'all think about that, man? Which day would y'all rather get fired on?
What day?
A Friday.
A Friday.
Right?
I'd prefer. I have.
You want to work the whole week knowing that you're gonna get fired on Friday?
Do I know? Oh,
Knowing?
so in your scenario, I know that it's coming.
Well, technically, I guess like Tucker, he didn't know it was coming, but to know that was your last week. How would you have felt? Like, damn, y'all could have just let me stay home all week.
If I knew that I had millions of dollars coming to me and being terminated, it doesn't matter what day to me. Correct. To be honest with you, it wouldn't matter whatsoever. But yeah, this is there's a lot
Fire
of
me on a Monday.
Monday, you prefer Monday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Democrats out there that apparently Democrats, liberals, people that don't watch Fox News for their content, that are kind of
people don't watch Fox News.
Well, they don't watch Fox
content?
News for
News
journalism.
Yeah,
they don't watch it for facts.
They watch it for editorialized information.
Yeah. Not to say that there aren't legitimate reporters that work for Fox News.
Honestly, during the last election, Fox News was on it a little bit better than CNN.
You think so?
A little bit for the local election.
No, they weren't.
They were on top of it quick. I've seen a lot of disappointed people.
You see a lot of disappointed people when they're like, "We told you that these states won and they didn't." I'm sorry.
I think that was just during the Trump election, but I wasn't talking about the Trump one. I was talking about the one after that one.
No one works harder than the dude, and I cannot remember his name on CNN.
Steve Kornacki,
who was rubbing
on
the
MSNBC.
screen all
saying the same thing over and over and over again. This guy,
around
this
the
guy's
elections.
working the touch
he's got an
screen.
easier job than goddamn the meteorologist. Like,
Yeah, but he has to be right.
no, he doesn't.
And one is predicting psychopaths, and the other one's predicting the weather.
Yeah. Honestly, I've made this argument before. I think that reporting the weather before it happens, or weather forecasting, especially in radio, completely pointless. It frustrates me. All right.
Weren't you supposed to be a meteorologist? I wanted to be.
No, I did time and weather, reporting when I worked in radio, but I had to contend with, every time.
So you got a secret hate for him. That's what you're trying to say.
Atlanta's a big city. And so what I'll say on that is that because Atlanta is as large as it was when I worked in radio, one of the stations I worked at didn't even have windows. So I couldn't see outside.
When I'm riding in my truck to work, and they go like, right now it's currently 70 degrees, and I look up at my thermometer and it says 72. I'm like, liars, liars.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah, it's I hated doing a weather report, and then all of a sudden I get 15 or 20 phone calls. They light up the board saying, "Oh, yeah, it's raining here and such or whatever." And it's
I didn't ask y'all that.
You know, if I said 72 degrees, sunny skies here in Atlanta, Georgia, it was absolutely a certainty.
But that's only a radio station. Ain't nobody about to call the news station and be like, "Hey, y'all got the weather wrong." Like, nobody does that.
Well, no, Jim Gandy could be wrong 90% of the time and still have his job.
100%. I think the only time a weatherman probably could mess up if he I don't know, if he predicts like a tornado hitting and it doesn't hit, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I really don't see the definition of them fucking up.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen is they're like, "Don't leave your homes. You're safe." All right, there's a tornado. Run! Yeah, I don't think that happens a lot.
Most of the time when it comes to like weather reporting, the news doesn't actually have to be super like on top of it.
Yeah, they just have to tell the basis of the story.
Yeah, they have to, and in some cases they'll give like a range of temperatures for the day, or they can be vague. Yeah. It just, that's why I don't know that I find that much validity to reporting the current weather conditions. Like, you want to know the weather? Stick your head outside the window. Just walk outside. Now you know the weather.
Be your own local weather.
Correct.
Do it yourself. We did this week, Joe Biden did formally announce that he was going to be running again for his...
Thanks, Joe.
We
were waiting
for president. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and play his announcement video so that you guys can see it. I assume you all have not seen this yet.
Back in Connecticut.
Freedom. Personal freedom is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
Agreed.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy.
This shouldn't be a red or blue issue.
To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally, and that everyone is given a fair shot.
Well, if he wins again, she'll be our president.
100%.
You don't think he'll make it to 86?
The country, MAGA extremists are lining
mentally
up to take on those bedrock freedoms.
Wow.
They keep him in the back to chamber like Luke Skywalker.
They might. While cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
That's not the important thing, Joe. Come on. The weed, sir.
When I ran for president 4 years ago,
these issues are fine,
sir.
But
for the soul of America, and we still are.
All right, so keep listening. This is
the question we're facing is whether in the years ahead,
it's coming up here in a second.
More freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too. This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
Oh, he didn't say it.
Because I know America. I know we're good and decent people. I know we're still a country that believes in honesty and respect and treating each other with dignity. That we're a nation where we give hate no safe harbor. We believe that everyone is equal, that everyone should be given a fair shot to succeed in this country.
Thank you for choosing us.
Did Joe send that check for this ad?
Well, every generation Americans
campaign did.
Okay.
And they have to defend.
No matter what, say less.
Stand up for our personal freedom. Stand up for the right to vote and our civil rights.
I don't know who that guy is, do you?
The one that was on the wall?
Yeah.
I think I do. He just died, didn't he, recently?
It's not a bad campaign start. You know what I mean?
It's really cheesy though.
I mean, it's Joe. You didn't do too much here now. So. He's not who I'm voting.
Go to joebiden.com and sign up.
Hold on. Come on, say it.
Let's finish this job. I know we can.
There it is.
Because this is the United States.
So ultimately,
there's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
I prognosticated that "let's finish the job" would be.
You did. Yep.
I said that was going to be his slogan for this campaign. I knew it. I knew that was going to be it, and there you are.
You might want to pause that bad boy. I think that I think it sounds good. I think he's not going to deliver on.
You don't think he's going to deliver?
No.
In 4 more years, in another 4 years. So
we need somebody more punchy now. I think we need somebody because who wants to see him argue Donald Trump again? I don't.
It's essentially who it's going to be. It's going to be
him
we have the exact same, but with those exact same choices again, who I can't vote for anybody. I can't vote for Donald Trump.
If it comes down to those two, the what is it? The shit sandwich and the turd bowl. Like, I don't.
I still have to go. I'd have to go with Biden. I can't do Trump.
Oh no, for sure. I'm not voting for Trump. In no fucking universe am I voting for Trump. But he's our placeholder for us to go. All right, now who do we really like?
What we're doing is we're biding our time
because we technically got 4 years of both.
Yeah.
So we know what both of them offered in those 4 years. So now we're looking back and I'm like,
I don't want the yang thing again. I don't want another Republican to get it, even if he's a better Republican, like as Republicans go nowadays. Even if he's less antagonistic and stuff, I don't want that either. If a Republican runs that has good ideas, then fine, but you're not going to get that. I mean, they just had DeSantis in Tokyo for some reason. I mean, that guy is more cloak and dagger than anything else I've ever seen in my life.
Nikki Haley's still running around doing her thing, so you know.
Yeah, she was in Lexington last week for a campaign stop that she was asking for money. So here's basically the synopsis.
For curtains.
46th president and professional senior citizen has announced that he will seek the Democratic nomination on the general election. He is currently 80 years old, and if reelected, he will be 82 at his inauguration. And if reelected, will be 86 years old when he is succeeded by the 47th president. So far, there have been a few candidates that have announced their intentions on.
And how old is President Carter?
Carter right now?
92 or 93?
No, I think he's edging towards 100. I mean, I think he's
in his
upper 90s. Yeah. So Marianne Williamson, American writer, politician, and candidate in the 2024 United States presidential election. In 2014, Williamson unsuccessfully ran as an independent for California's 33rd congressional district in the United States House of Representatives. Also, just recently, Robert Kennedy Jr., 69 years old, son of former United States Attorney General for the Kennedy and Johnson presidential administrations, nephew of 35th President John F. Kennedy, and, of course, the son of Robert F. Kennedy, known for promoting anti-vaccine propaganda and conspiracy theories. And so far, there is no evidence to support that Kamala.
He's a psycho.
Yeah, there have always, since Biden got elected, there's always been this little rumors and things like that they would potentially drop Kamala Harris from the ticket. But no, it appears that Kamala Harris will absolutely be the vice president.
Do y'all want to take another jab at how old Jimmy Carter is?
Is he 97?
No.
Is he younger?
I think he's probably. I give him 84.
No.
Okay.
98.
98. I was gonna say I figured
you
he
weren't
was
far off, but you weren't right. So
I figured he was only a few years off from being 100.
I would rather elect him.
The 100-year-old Jimmy Carter.
I mean, what are we laughing at? Like both our people are up there. Like everybody's gonna be in their 80s running this country. Dude, that's crazy.
That's what you don't need.
That's literally crazy.
Freaking. Where's Yang? Is Yang running?
He hadn't announced yet.
Come on, Yang.
You want to be part of the Yang gang again?
If that's what I got.
Okay. Look, support the candidates. I mean, ultimately, I think to have viable choices is the best idea. I don't know Marianne Williamson or Robert Kennedy Jr. are viable. I don't know that they are the candidates that I would potentially, but I'll at least.
What happened to Cory Booker? Wasn't he running at one point in time?
He's Senate. He's running for Senate.
And I think Cory Booker, if he did run, I need somebody with that little bit of sharpness and not just take Trump's shit.
I agree.
I want that one, but he calls you like, there's Fat Zach. I'd be like, there's Dump Trump. Like, we can do this all day.
Look,
Trump.
But I became a man in the 5th grade. Let's do this.
But it for the people that are going to support Donald Trump, it doesn't matter whatsoever. They don't care that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. They don't care that he doesn't have a clue as to what the job really means. They just think he's a bully, and they like the fact that he kind of speaks his mind, I guess.
I'd run for president on the Democratic ticket, and then I'd have Stormy Daniels as my VP for a little bit.
Oh my God.
Just so when I had to debate, I'd be like, Stormy, come out here, tell him. She's like, mushroom dick. Just walks off. I'm like, that's all I needed from her. What now? Because you would watch Donald Trump flinch a little bit, like,
Do you think that he actually? So I've seen conversations.
I thought you was about to ask. Do you think he actually had sex with her?
Oh no, he definitely did.
Okay.
I mean, allegedly.
that we know.
I believe
She could have just jacked him off. All we know.
What? I don't
She's
think
like,
that makes a
gross.
difference.
It's like churning butter over there.
Would you feel different about the charges he's being arrested on if you knew it was just a hand job?
No.
Well, he's not being arrested
It's the funds that he used.
But
to
that's
pay
what I'm
for
saying.
that.
The funds for a hand job.
I don't care if he paid her money.
Like you'd be like, come on, man, it's a hand job.
He's not Robert Kraft.
Yeah, I don't care if he paid her to dance with him. He broke the law by using campaign funds.
Well, he and then
I
tried to
think
hide
other people
them.
use campaign funds, but they just get away with it.
Well, okay,
You have to say that you did, right? That's Obama.
You have to.
Obama
you
had
have
that
to.
kind of thing.
Yes, when you have to designate what the campaign funds are being. If he had just been honest and said, in his federal elections filings, if he had just been honest and said, I paid a prostitute or I paid a porn star to to keep her mouth shut so that I could get elected. Which, by the way, it's close. It's not the same, but it's kind of like election tampering by saying, I'm going to make sure that information gets withheld so that nobody finds out about it, giving me the potential of being elected.
I got you. So do you think if he would have been smarter and said, hey, I'm going to pay my lawyer with campaign funds.
That's what he did.
And then then the lawyer pays Stormy Daniels.
What you're describing is what happened.
So he's technically paying the lawyer.
But told the lawyer to pay.
I know, which is crazy. I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy. But this is why I think he's gonna get away with it, because he's like, yo, I gave him the money to be my lawyer. I didn't pay him.
Here's the thing. That's not why he's gonna get away with it. He's gonna get away with it because there are people out there that don't care whatsoever about the country. They don't really care about what direction we go. They don't care about, morality. They simply like Donald Trump because the shit that comes out of his mouth sounds like the shit that's going on inside their head.
Yeah, he's a straight talker. Say what?
He's not a straight talker. He barely has a grasp on the English. Okay, I'm digressing, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's no he is not intelligent enough in my mind. I don't believe that he should be president of the United States because of everything that's required to be the president. Now, people could argue, they could say, well, Biden's losing part of his mind, but there's no proof to that.
Correct.
He's, people say, well, he stumbles through speeches. Well, he's admitted that he has a speech impediment. And that but the fact that he delivers some speeches, he delivers most of his speeches and comments and things without that just shows the lengths that he's gone to try and overcome his disability.
Right. And that's the thing. He had a stutter.
Show me where Donald Trump has done anything to overcome his disabilities.
It's called ordering more McDonald's.
He's using the app.
Yeah. He's gaining his points now, Barrett.
He puts his tweets and truths in full caps because he's tired of hitting the caps button.
I'm just telling you I know because I lie. Here I go. I'm loud.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good caps button talker. Don't you just really hate reading those like on Facebook, like when somebody's like ranting?
Yeah, because
and it's like all caps. Like, god damn.
Film a video and yell.
You really are yellow.
Film a video and yell.
Yeah,
because you know you're gonna look like a dickhead.
That's all, and yell the same thing that you just wrote down.
Yeah, exactly. Film a video and yell.
Actually, make an AI. Punch these words in and see how stupid it sounds.
That should be your.
Hand it to your kid. Let him yell it at you.
That should be your sanity check. Is throw it, put it in AI, have AI read it, and see what it sounds like. Yeah. Do you guys? Let's see. Okay, so we're talking about Trump a little bit. Before we go to break, actually, you know what? We'll talk about it after break. So before we go to break, let's do the. We're gonna do our reading corner, but first I gotta pull up the reading corner. So. Because if I didn't, then I was going to easily...
Oh, it's Barrett nude in a leather chair.
Come on, Barrett. Watch your tabs.
Say what?
Reading a book.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah. As though I have pulled up something inappropriate, and yes,
You're snitching on yourself because you're stuttering.
I understand now. I understand now. All right.
And here's a book from our reading corner.
And now, the All About Nothing podcast presents the Reading Nothing Corner.
Patterson began work on the project in 1948. Compared with Thomas Midgley's colorful contributions to the March of Progress, Patterson's discovery of the age of the Earth feels more than a touch anticlimactic. For 7 years, first at the University of Chicago and then at the California Institute of Technology, he worked in a sterile lab, making very precise measurements of the lead-uranium ratios in carefully selected samples of old rocks. The problem with measuring the age of the Earth was that you needed rocks that were extremely ancient, containing lead and uranium-bearing crystals that were about as old as the planet itself. Anything much younger would obviously give you misleading youthful dates, but really ancient rocks are only rarely found on Earth. In the late 1940s, no one altogether understood why this should be. Indeed, and rather extraordinarily, we would be well into the space age before anyone could plausibly account for where all of the Earth's old rocks went. Patterson, meantime, was left to try to make sense of things with very limited material. Eventually, and ingeniously, it occurred to him that he could circumvent the rock shortage by using rocks from beyond Earth. He turned to meteorites. The assumption he made, rather a large one, but correct as it turned out, was that many meteorites are essentially leftover building material from the early days of the solar system, and thus have managed to preserve a more or less pristine interior chemistry. Measure the age of these wandering rocks, and you would have the age also of the Earth.
And James Will Jones.
I know who wrote this book.
Reading Nothing Corner, presented by the All About Nothing podcast.
You know who wrote this book?
Who wrote it?
I'm not gonna say it.
All right.
Okay.
So you all know how it works. If you know who the author and the title of the book are, then either tweet us at AAN_pod or email us at theshow@theallaboutnothing.com, and we will give you a shout out on the air.
Live.
That's right. Well, recorded live. So, all right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute, and we'll do the rest of the show, the All About Nothing podcast.
This is Eli Bosnick, and you're listening to the All About Nothing podcast.
All right, welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. We got multiple clappings going on.
Hey, we got to clap for them because they stayed around. Thank you.
So,
Part 2.
just a reminder, if it works out and we do get a nomination, please go vote for us. It's
would
the
like
best
it.
of Columbia 2023. We hope to be in the running for the best local podcast. You don't have to be from Columbia to vote for us.
No.
You can be from anywhere. Anywhere.
We're looking at you.
Anywhere, any state, any country.
So the thing I wanted to bring up, because I know that Trent was very excited to see Deion Sanders.
He just wanted to use it again.
I just wanted you to know.
We're talking sports. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I know you seen that. What did I show you, Bear?
So Deion Sanders, so as discussed, the spring.
He doesn't know. He's not.
He doesn't.
I do know. Not only this.
Did you read it off my paper?
Nah, because I follow Deion Sanders, so I know what's going on.
A record 17 players have decided they don't want to play for Deion Sanders.
Yeah, man.
And we discussed the spring game coming up for the Colorado Buffaloes. Ticket prices for the game, where most of the time, almost every college and university across the country has free for the spring game. They have to make up for this incredible contract that they gave somebody who's not been a coach except in college for what, 3 years? 3 years.
But he's one of the best players in the world, so he deserves it.
Well, so
he's got to be the best coach.
This past Monday,
they didn't care about that when it came to Jordan.
So after this past spring game, this past Monday, a record 17 players announced that they would be entering the transfer portal. When Sanders started as head coach, he made the statement, and this is a quote: "He is bringing his luggage," and he told players to go ahead and jump in the portal.
He did.
And he was going to cut, he said he's going to get rid of 25 to 30 of them.
He's basically going to have a brand new team.
And he lost, but what he's losing is wide receiver who showed out.
Yeah, he's losing his top rusher, Deion Smith, is leaving. He opted to leave the program. Sanders will also have to replace his leading rusher from last season, as well as several other top prospects with experience from last year's team.
The number one DB commit, he decommitted.
Sound like y'all praying on Deion's downfall.
No,
y'all.
This was bound to happen. So Deion Sanders he comes with if you hire Deion Sanders as a head coach, you have to acknowledge and recognize that he comes with a level of arrogance and I get
which is deserved.
It's fine.
You said he's the best player. He's the greatest.
One of the best players. Him and what's his name? Bo Jackson. One of the best ever to ever do Rodgers. At their positions.
They're not going to retire Deion Sanders' number anywhere. Just so you know.
I mean, he doesn't need to be retired in the black community. That's for sure. That's for sure. There's some 21 jerseys hanging up in some some players.
Yeah, those are Barry Sanders jerseys.
So here's my question though: what chaos did Deion Sanders bring to the Colorado Buffalo that caused this?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
He's an asshole.
That and also he didn't let players pick their numbers, and a lot of players feel some type of way about that. They feel they get real babyish. Yeah, man, that's for real. A lot of linemen wanted single digits, and he's like, I'm not giving no linemen.
You can't give a lineman single digits.
Well, defensive linemen.
No,
you can't. Clowney had 7.
An end.
Clowney had 7.
You can give an end. You can give an end.
Clowney wasn't an end.
Yes, he was.
Oh, well, that's still line.
And he was
that's
hybrid.
D-line.
He played the spur where it's line and back.
But you know what
Ask
he's saying.
Ask him how many teams have a spur.
In their back.
They call them I think they call them bucks as well.
But on top of that, it's good things that's happening too because he done sold out all of the season tickets. Yeah. Those have already been sold out. So it's like even if you get what I'm saying, it's going to be some new players there. Okay,
let's say
it's okay.
Let's say that
this real first year doing it. So I don't think y'all should be putting this much pressure on the man.
I think it's more of a Colorado thing than it is a Deion thing.
I think so too.
The weather?
Because
I think it's
say he takes him to heights that Colorado ain't never seen.
Anywhere is higher than what Colorado was last year.
Not this season.
You will bankrupt that school trying to keep Deion Sanders there. It won't happen. They know they have a hype man that is not there for more, let's say, any guesses? I would say 3 years at the most.
I mean, if it's 3 years, then I don't see a problem with that.
Well, they can't pay for it.
Let me ask you this question.
Then he jumps to a bigger school.
Let me ask you this question.
That's just what happens, bro. We see this happens all the time in SEC. The SEC coaches get left. How many coaches have Nick Saban fired?
But you don't
or haven't been
head coach, bro.
But a head coach of.
But
a
I'm
school.
saying, how many people have Nick Saban had on this team?
Tons.
And now they're a head coach. It happens, bro. It happens.
But that's different.
But see, they haven't even had a legitimate coin toss yet. And
I know, and there's just so much drama around Colorado. Everybody's waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. The national media has given them 5 to less wins.
Oh, see, do you remember how many I called? How many?
I think you said like 4.
I think I said 4. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna drop that. I think they'll be 3-9.
3-9.
Yeah. I don't think I think that they will win.
That's technically the better record than they had last year.
Well,
so they only
it's better than 1-11.
So,
I think that 5 is the limit that I will even go to.
I'm still sticking at my 7.
So the thing I want to know though is how many are in the transfer portal right now? Like in the entire country, how many players do you think are?
I don't know.
So, we had 2 leave, but there were 2 that we were like, I'm pretty sure
they
the
weren't
coaches
playing.
Were like,
yeah. But what does 17 players from one school do to the transfer portal? I mean,
not a lot, man.
You don't think so?
It's a lot of teams looking for players, man. But who's to say them being in that transfer portal? Who's to say they're going to get picked up?
They won't.
You know what I mean? Like,
I bet a lot of them will.
You think so?
I would take that running back and that.
Sure. Okay, so let's say 5 out of the 17.
That's probably
5 out of 17
that
makes
makes
more
more
sense.
sense.
I guarantee you there's 300 players in that portal. Yeah.
But that's 7. But those are spread out over
So many. No, there's so
200.
many. There's so many teams that'll go pick. I guarantee you.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because it felt like
The WAC better go pick up some players. I'll tell you that.
And that's the thing. Like, there's so many schools out there that'll go take him.
so. My again. So
if they go to Jackson State, then it's a slap in the face.
That, hey, you know, who's-
That'd be the only slap in
you
the
talking
face.
about the Colorado boys? Yeah,
If they go to Jackson State, then it's a slap in the face.
They have our old quarterback. Gosh, and I can't remember his name now. He was okay when we called his number, and he's now the QB. He was at Virginia Tech, didn't play too much.
Yeah.
Now he's at
Jacksonville State.
Doesn't Oregon have not Oregon? I think is it Oregon?
Oregon has Jordan Birch, a defensive end.
Who has DJ?
Ugalele, or Oklahoma State,
Okay.
and he was shitting on Clemson.
I heard him. If he would have did something, we wouldn't be shitting
But
on him.
that's the thing. What he said is that their offense is too basic, and they don't let him be the
Motherfucker.
player that it should be. And that's what Clemson players were saying about their offense for the last couple of years. Was saying like the offense is not varied enough.
You don't go to play at Clemson for variations and
Nah, you go for straight bombs and get past people. That's what we've been doing.
I read this. I read this article, and they call it the Clemson curse.
Well, Deshaun was doing it too.
So it was this article where this guy was interviewing NFL scouts and stuff, and recruiters or whatever you want to call them, and they were talking about the Clemson curse, which is basically you go play at Clemson, you'll do really well, but it won't transfer over to
the NFL.
That's cap.
Well, you have Nuke, you have
Sammy Watkins,
and so you have like 4 or 5, right? And this is not just comparing, but there's a ton of Gamecocks playing football in the NFL. Are even better in the NFL than when they had their time at South Carolina sometimes. But they're talking about that, and then they were talking about Dabo being the worst, that he talks about these players. He and Dabo specifically mentioned 5th-string quarterback should be starting in the NFL. That's how good he is. And that is a load of shit, because you do need that kind of equalizer, be like, you got to get better.
You got to remember, Dabo is the greatest college cheerleader that's ever existed.
I mean, it's not wrong, and I don't like Dabo for he's a bit of a dork, but I don't think he's the worst head coach in the world that you could have.
I'm not saying he's a bad head coach. What I'm saying is that he definitely when you go to play for Clemson, you go to play for Dabo, you're going to play for somebody who is going to encourage you, who is going to speak
say the
publicly.
right things. Yep,
He's going to speak publicly to make sure that you're valued in his program.
And if you lose, he's going to take that responsibility.
But maybe
most
it
of the time he
shouldn't
says
be.
it's me.
Maybe it shouldn't
on
be.
Me. No, it's always on the head coach. I hate when head coaches come in and they bash the players.
Like, how many people,
That's
how many players
horrible.
fumbled in the South Carolina Clemson game this year that you should go like, that is on you, bro. Like, you should.
But you can't come in and say that. Be like, yo,
you absolutely should.
Nah, you can't come in there and say
like,
it
you
because
fucked up. Let's go teach you how to hold the ball. You're not going to sit
It's not
there.
even teaching, because those were some dumb those fumbles were dumb.
That have gone on all year for y'all.
Nah. Hell no. Not like in that Carolina Clemson game. It was like they had slip and slide on that damn ball.
You gotta
Like,
acknowledge
what the
though,
fuck?
rival games are different. Rivalry games
are.
always
Dumb shit happens.
Always get played
in
differently.
football.
Even Georgia Tech was giving Georgia a run for
in the first quarter.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, and then it all fell apart. So, and apologies to my mom, but we're going to move on to another sports topic. So, Aaron Rodgers got traded to the New York Jets. So the Packers
Discount double check.
What are they saying? The longest Midwest goodbye?
Yeah. So the Packers.
All right, then.
Packers agreed on Monday to deal quarterback Aaron Rodgers and their 2023 first round pick at number 15.
What's that number?
8.
8 million?
Oh, you're talking about for money? I thought you were talking about
Yeah,
number he's
what's
going to wear.
that number?
Yeah. So hold on. Let me find exactly, because I had some other information. Nope, it's not there. That's all good.
I have a little sport
we can find
tidbit
it out.
after this as well.
So this is the second time in 15 years that the Green Bay Packers are trading an aging icon to the New York Jets.
They did it with Favre.
Yeah.
They called him an aging icon, huh?
Yeah.
He is, though.
Aging icon. And he is ultimately. So the story that I read, or the story that I heard, was that when Aaron Rodgers ended the season, he was tiptoeing on the idea that he was going to retire. he went on a 3-month meditation session.
Yeah. Meaning he went to go smoke some weed.
No, not weed. It wasn't weed. It was ayahuasca. So the idea is basically he and if you don't know what ayahuasca means, 150 million.
You was complaining about what Deion Sanders is getting paid. You think he's worth that?
No, I don't think Rodgers is worth
150 million for 3 years.
Yeah,
that's
$50. That's
$50 million a year.
Yeah, but
Fuck no.
New York as a state of sports is used to overpaying people.
Yeah, of course.
She's got a point.
So
the Knicks,
the Mets.
Yeah, don't talk about the Mets.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
But yeah, essentially he went into this transcendental state on ayahuasca and came out saying, "I want to play for the Jets."
And only drugs will do that to
which
you.
ultimately his friends around him probably should have been like, "Whoa, let's pump the brakes a little bit," because frankly, the Jets. So if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this season. Let's see, first round pick that becomes a first if based on the odds, sorry, I'm scattered.
Based on the odds.
So after the trade, the Jets odds at Caesar Sportsbook to win the Super Bowl are 14-1, which is basically a no. While the Packers are a 50-1, which is a definite no.
Okay.
The Jets odds to make it to the playoffs are minus 150. While the Packers are plus 170. Rodgers' odds to be named NFL's MVP are an 18-1 for the Jets, the seventh shortest among all players. So they still expect him to do really well, but with what?
So here's a funny stat.
They're going to build around him.
The best quarterback the Jets ever had was Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Joe Namath, in I think it was 70 or 71, if I heard the stat correctly today, got like 75 MVP votes.
Yeah.
Do you know who the next player on the Jets who even had one vote? Nobody. Ever.
Fucking crazy. Hey, Gary Vee said the Jets will win the Super Bowl in the next 10 years. That's what he said. He's been saying it.
10 years? Yeah, we could rotate through an entire team.
If he gets Devonta Adams back. Yeah. And you have one guy.
Do you think Devontae Adams wants to go and play in the Jets?
But then I think he wanted to play with
Rodgers.
He only had a 1 year contract.
With Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only 1 year. So
I don't think
he could be setting up for that.
I think he might be back on.
They're having to pay him $50 million this year. Do you think that they have enough money?
Yeah, because they don't have to franchise.
There's a cap. Was it Zach Wilson?
They don't have to franchise Javonte.
Was it Zach Wilson who's now their backup quarterback? Yeah. So who was he throwing to?
and then OBJ is on the Ravens now. So
yeah, I saw that.
Daggum, what's his name, sitting back pissed going.
Why couldn't I have had him to throw at
the quarterback?
Flacco?
No, for the Ravens.
RG3?
No. Oh my God, none of us know it. It's
what we talking about?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Sorry,
he's got to be sitting
I thought you were
back,
talking back in the day.
No, he's got to be sitting back pissed off right now going.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about back in the day. Why would he be pissed off?
Because no one's given him a contract yet, and he's up. And then they just get OBJ in there, and they paid him stupid-ass money.
Actually, it makes more sense for him to wait out for him because now you
think he goes back to the Ravens?
Now you got to
really
pay me now.
Never be your own agent. That's the story.
Yeah, you don't want that responsibility. Things are going to go awry.
Before we move on from sports, I'm going to give a shout-out to my South Carolina Gamecocks baseball team.
What number are they at now?
3.
What did I say? What number did I say they were going to be if they swept Florida?
3 or 4.
So 3 or 4.
I'm telling you right now.
You can feel it in the air.
We swept number 3 Florida, and they didn't even. It was not even a struggle or
close.
any point close. They got buried by a run rule in the 7th in the first game, which is always beautiful. South Carolina comes out game 1 just
crushing it,
like insane. And we need to get a player on here. I might have to reach out and see because we need some commentary. But now it's 1 LSU, 2 Wake Forest, and shout out to the Deeks, man.
Yeah,
they just took down Coastal Carolina, who were ranked as well last night.
I still can't believe LSU is sitting at the top.
No, because they got beat by the Raging Cajuns, and then they got beat last night.
Yeah.
And I can't remember that name of that school.
But regardless, they just don't look like they're playing like a cohesive team. They don't look like they're playing. I mean,
they got smothered by South Carolina in game 1, and then we didn't get to play game 3. But game 2, we lost by a run that we were ahead 7-3 on. South Carolina lost that game.
Yeah.
I'm just very happy that baseball is now back in the city of Columbia and hitting in all cylinders.
Oh, the Fireflies aren't doing too bad.
The Fireflies aren't either, but you know,
see your local games.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
go to the ball field.
Take me out to the ball game.
All right. So
and I'll be at the Tennessee game.
Are you going? You're going to the Tennessee game? All right.
Oh, we didn't get that invite.
No, because it was my birthday.
Well, when are they playing Tennessee?
It's the weekend after the 17th.
So. In May. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right. I tell you what I'm doing this Friday. I haven't told you yet.
You're gonna actually go to the review and participate?
No, but good. that would probably be just as much fun. But no, actually, Bill Kimler today sent me a text message and invited me to go to the Blue Plate dinner for the Democratic Party on Friday. He only had one seat left.
Of course he only had. Come on, Bill.
Bill?
Come on, Bill. Bill, you didn't get to choose which person you wanted to invite.
I thought we were closer than this.
Come on. I used to say, Bill.
I thought we were closer, Bill.
He even talked. He didn't want to talk to you because y'all got a secret.
Y'all got beef.
Hate.
Y'all got beef.
I just called it how I saw it. Listen, who won the Super Bowl? Wasn't the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay. That's the reason why you didn't get invited, right?
I'm turning up the shit dial.
So next week's podcast, I'll let you guys know how that was.
Tell us how the food.
Thanks, Bear.
Tell us how the food was and how it was to have to deal with Bill.
And tell me how unsalted it was.
Okay, so we're going to the. So here's the thing. So we're going to the dinner, and then after the dinner, we're going to head over to Adventure where they're having the fish fry.
Are we invited to that?
Yeah, you can go to the Clyburn Fish Fry.
No, it's too late.
No, it's free. It's open.
It's too late.
Okay, well, fair.
Well, nah, Bear, you send me that invite and make sure I get make sure I can get the time so I can be. Do I need to come in suit?
No.
Okay.
Jeans, t-shirt.
Okay, cool.
Polo,
I'm not going at a protest.
All right.
Bill.
So moving on, the Atlanta prosecutors announced schedule to possibly indict Trump this summer.
Yeah, but that makes it sound like it wasn't expected. This was expected.
Yeah, so Fani Willis, district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, sent a letter to the top local law enforcement officers of Georgia and the federal government announcing a potential schedule of indictments for Donald Trump and his allies. Charges would become, if voted on by the special grand jury, they would be announced on between July 11th and September 1st. Now, originally, back in January, DA Willis said that charges were imminent. But after the announcement of those charges, they were delayed because a wealth of witnesses came forward and chose to cooperate with investigators. Now,
let's no longer call them Trump's allies. Let's just call it they're going to get Trump and those sitting on his axis of evil.
I like the way you put that there.
So this is all based, of course, on the attempted election tampering by Donald Trump, a phone call that was made by the White House to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. He told the Georgia Secretary of State to find him 11,780 votes, which is exactly one more vote than he needed to win the state of Georgia. Actually, it's one.
But you know
vote.
how that is, Barry. You know, like when you call your girl and be like, "Hey, I can't find my keys. Can you search under the couch and make sure that my keys ain't there?" He did the same thing about the vote. That's all it was.
Trent's a smart guy. I walked in, I said, "Wow, Trent's a smart guy." That's exactly what I was trying to say.
This is so some of the quotes from that phone call, of course, was the big one was I just won 11,780 votes. The other one, which doesn't get reported on as much or as often, is the just tell everyone you retallied. The fact that Trump...
Yeah, I can't help you out with that one, brother.
I can count to 5 if that helps.
It just strikes... See, that's where I don't recognize Donald Trump as a viable candidate because who...
He doesn't know how to take losses well.
If Biden were to have lost the state of Georgia, but were to have called Raffensperger and said, "Hey, I just need 11,780 votes. Just tell them you retallied."
Or go by 1,000. Like, why are you going to be like, and one more for good measure?
I mean, it's just...
Round up by 1,000.
You got to round up. It's always round up. Man. You never round down.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is a major crime. Election tampering in the United States is a major, major crime.
Well, they do it every time.
and I said this earlier, but paying hush payments to keep bad news stories is technically indirectly.
He did it to the New York Post,
election
or
tampering.
Times, whichever one.
Well, and the National Enquirer, the guy that owned National Enquirer, literally, it was called, what was it called? It was. Well,
we're real busy with this Bat Boy story, but we'll make sure not to include Trump banging hookers.
The Bat Boy. I remember Bat Boy.
Yeah, you remember
Run the Bat Boy story again.
Bat Boy, 25 years old and grown. I'm a grown ass bat.
We got to give updates. People are wondering what's wrong with him.
Yeah, my ears still look like this, and I got fangs.
I'd like to see Bat
I started
Boy again.
COVID.
Bat Boy's got to be in his 50s now?
Maybe I thought.
I know the Lizard
maybe
Man. The
60s?
Lizard Man was
Might be
pretty
older.
old at one point in time too. Remember him?
Yeah, I do.
The guy from Ripley, believe it or not.
No, Lizard. Well,
I'm talking about
There's two
the
lizards.
Lizard Man of
Yeah,
the
like the
Bennettsville
split
Lizard
tongue.
Man was here in South Carolina.
No, he's talking about the real lizard man who tattooed lizard scales all over him, and then
with the fake tongue,
cut
and,
his nose off,
and,
I
like,
gotta
and
be
tattooed
honest.
his eyeballs.
He did
black.
that to himself. I mean, legitimately one of the
doing
lizard.
his best to be Professor Connors from Spider-Man.
I mean, legitimately one of the lizard people that's escaped from the
Hold on, Bear.
subterranean.
Whatever he's identified as,
Escape
he's identified as.
Escape,
You know what I'm saying?
escape
If
from,
we learned anything from last week's episode, you let them be identified as what they want to be
he
identified.
escaped
for.
from Clemson like Kudzu did.
So what we're getting at then is that because he wants to be identified as the lizard man,
He
then
is
that's
a
what-
lizard.
So he's transitioned into
What's your
a lizard.
pronoun?
He technically
Reptile.
He's done more transitions than some other people.
Fair.
Yeah, but we'll all together. That's what will unite America. It's like, all right, everybody, your pronouns are your pronouns, but fuck the lizard people, right?
Yeah.
And then one Trumper will stand up like, well, they do run America.
And then
Like,
the
God damn it.
and then the furries are gonna come out of woodworth and they're gonna be like, "What about us?"
Yeah, be like,
Yeah, but at least with the furry, you're not talking about changing species.
Yeah,
You're
you
talk-
are, Bear.
the
They
furries
want
are-
to be treated like
Yeah, they do.
they say whenever they have furry
Trent's right on this.
when they have the conventions, like hotels have
Grey
to
Wolf.
have to
Yeah, I
come
don't-
up with like buckets of water.
It's like the
for
bronies.
their dogs, which are the people,
Yeah.
and they drink out of it like dogs. They actually are
Dude,
treated.
If I walked
like
into one of the hotel
animals.
and that was going on, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck.
Yeah, but see, this digresses into the stories about the conservatives deciding that there are too many schools out there that are putting kitty litter boxes in the classroom for kids to go and pee and poop in the corner.
I wish.
That's crazy.
It's not a thing.
I would have never went to the bathroom.
It's not a
I would have
thing.
never.
It does not happen.
Trey, you
No.
gotta go to the bathroom? Yep.
You remember
going
the
over there.
portables when you would go pee in the toilet while class was going
man,
on? People were like,
portables
God
were
damn.
horrible.
Like,
when you took
you're
a shit in a portable, that shit came through, dog.
Dude, I would in a second hunch over a cat box and be like, we're all getting a little bit of meat.
You're trying to tell me that you would prefer to poop or pee into a litter box in the corner of the room.
A covered litter box.
Oh, that
You're gonna climb in.
You gotta
there,
cover
too.
it.
whatever bill or whatever law passed that would happen would instantly be canceled. They'd be like, Zach shit in the litter box. We thought maybe they'd wait to go inside. I'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, that litter
As soon
box.
as I get in there, I'm just like, welcome to class.
That litter box
Welcome to class.
only held like 6 cubic inches of kitty litter, but he dumped a turd that easily surpassed the volume.
Correct.
It's hitting the rim on
Limits
both
of the-
sides.
You can't even cover it up with the rocks and
No,
sand. That's just
no.
not covering up.
Someone else can come cover it up.
Here's your algebra.
They're gonna
You
have to-
measure in volume. You'll know volume then.
Yeah, you ever heard that saying, I'm busier than a cat covering dog shit? I'm busier than the cat covering Zach shit.
All right. The last thing I wanted to bring up.
Live.
So, do you want to? Okay.
No,
bring
don't
up
do
Liv.
it.
Yeah,
There's nothing to
No,
it.
we can bring up Liv. I just got you guys.
Zach hasn't seen it. The video that I showed you, right?
He hasn't seen it yet. Okay, so I'll pull it up.
OnlyFans?
No, not OnlyFans.
Sent him a pretty cool video. That's something that'll never happen at the Masters.
He did in fact send me a video, and I'll go ahead and play it here.
You're ruining the prestige of the sport.
Basically, that's what they're gonna say. What's this?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, they all throw shit at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen this already?
Yeah. It's dope.
So
something the Masters would never.
I
do.
dig it, but they're also not popping trap music at the fucking Masters either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm seeing way more positives. Like, black people are being accepted at the Live. They're playing rap music.
Remember when your ancestors were here on the Masters court?
So,
and it is pretty cool that they make noise as he's hitting the ball. Like at the Masters, it's like a person holding up a sign saying "Be quiet."
So who is it? Who is it that's actually teeing
I don't
off
know who that is.
Trent, I think you as a loud person just feel accepted at this loud ass golf tournament.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Trent's a big fan. Here he goes. So he hits
his name is Chase.
It's a hole in one, right?
Yeah, it was a hole in one.
Yeah.
Kepka, I think, something like that. And
Bruce Kepka?
No, Chase.
So as soon as it's a hole in one, everybody launches their beer cans and bottles out onto the greens, and
you know the groundskeeper's like, God damn it! I remember when they were.
That's what I was telling him.
So we discussed the potential of this being a job that could potentially bring in money for. You said homeless people.
I'm thinking think about.
Like Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, where he goes the homeless guy is his caddy.
Think about it like this: if we get homeless people to pick up the bottles, and all the bottles that they pick up, they can get cash in at the end of the day, and bro, I'm trying to build jobs here, brother.
I appreciate your ingenuity.
Yeah,
but
I tried to.
The city of Columbia ain't giving nothing better than that, so why not?
I tried to at least acknowledge the potential that yes, that would be possible, but there is no way. Most of these.
Call it all bums. Get up here. You want some bottles?
Most of the Live tournament plays.
Just give it to them
in the United States. They
Why don't
play
you just
on.
Donate them to them.
They play on Trumps.
Fair enough.
That'd be smart, right?
They play at Trump's resorts. There is no way possible.
At the Live tours?
Yeah, the Live tours in the United States, they mostly play at Trump's.
What if you did see Trump like in the crowd with his like tie around his head? And he's like, yeah!
Not a chance.
Trent would be like, sold, motherfucker! I am sold. You would too.
I would, man.
Let me just point out there is no way that Donald Trump is going to allow any homeless people on any of his resorts.
Okay, I can see that.
It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen.
But like I told you earlier, Donald Trump loves cheap wages, so.
But
or not paying them at all.
Yeah. I saw.
He would come take the cans from them. He'd be like, "Sorry, I saw the cans. I was like, wow, that's a lot of cans."
No, what he'd do is he'd arrange to have the cans recycled through Donald Trump's recycler,
and pay them pennies on the dime of what they should be
Jimmy
getting.
the fish working the damn crusher.
Yeah, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't pay them.
Yeah, I'd take these fucking bottles. I crush them for Donald.
Crush them for Donald.
Fucking sure.
Okay.
Like a cannoli.
Oh, but get to your last point.
Last thing I was going to talk about was this deep sea fisherman catches unbelievable fish off of the coast of western Russia. The name is Roman Fedorovtsov. He's a deep sea fisherman working a trawler in Murmansk, near northwest Russia. He caught a couple of fish that apparently are just unbelievable. This is the first one.
I seen
Go
him.
Go ahead. Cue my music.
I seen him on SpongeBob.
Cue my music real quick with this shit. These fish look like something straight out of the damn.
That one looks like a fleshlight.
Oh my God! You can imagine putting your dick in that? Hell no.
Meet this fisherman, Trent, and your imagination will become reality.
And where you say this is off the coast of Russia?
Yeah, this is off the coast.
They definitely been testing some shit over there.
There must have been a second Chernobyl over the ocean.
Northwest Russia. So yeah,
it looks like Cartman.
Kenny.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like Kenny.
Yes,
you're right.
Maybe that's where they got Kenny from.
So
because his eyes are cocked too.
Just based on this picture, what do you think that fish is thinking?
How did I get here?
That's probably not its eyes. Let's start out there.
Yeah, it's probably not his eyes.
You think that's just like a diversion?
Yeah, well, like it's a
like
defense mechanism.
Draw fishing.
Yeah.
It looks like a Venus flytrap.
I wouldn't touch it with my bare hands like this guy's doing.
Yeah, his hands look really wet too.
Well, he came out of the ocean.
So my opinion on
He's got a point.
I think this fish in particular is thinking one of two things. If you think my eyes are big, wait till you see the undercarriage. And then secondly, can someone get this guy's middle finger out of me.
Facts. Because where the rest of his fingers at?
So this
Holding
is
it kind of weird.
Are you thinking, no, that's the spot?
This is a picture of the other one he caught.
I think this one's fake when Barrett. I don't know,
fake.
man.
It isn't fake.
That looks
it's real.
That looks something from a Guillermo del Toro.
It does,
film.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like it, but this is an actual fish.
That's the same animal that was on goddamn
That looks like
Will
a
Smith. Will Smith.
Fresh Prince.
No, the movie, the main movie that he got, Independence Day.
Oh, the
That's
alien.
what the alien looked like.
Is
No,
it?
it didn't.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't.
it had a
didn't.
sharp head.
No, the aliens had
No.
a disc head.
Yeah, it
It
kind
was.
of.
I thought it was sharp.
Remember
No.
he punched it in the face and he lights a cigar? That Joker had
Oh
a disc
yeah, okay.
That's what I call a close encounter.
head.
Mm.
I only say that because I watched
The best
it
part of that
recently.
movie is when he walks up and he's like, go get your shit.
I'm supposed to be at a barbecue.
He's like, you don't have any clearance. Is clearance enough for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, that's a good
when
movie.
you drag a goddamn alien through the desert, that's when I knew the movie was
Oh,
fake.
their exoskeleton does kind of look like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like a little bit, right?
I was thinking about the little critter on the inside, the real alien.
Nah, I'm talking about like.
See, I thought their exoskeleton was basically just built around their bodies.
Yeah, but they did have like a point at the top that kind of like came around
Yeah.
with all the tentacles and shit.
See, this is why I say that we don't know what is at the bottom of us. We're too worried
the
and too
ocean is
distracted about the top.
The ocean
We
is
need
the
to go down.
scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Because these things look like,
It's got teeth on top.
yeah, like
people teeth.
in a nostril. Like
It looks like
people
it's got
nostrils.
nostrils.
And then little nostrils
It
on top of
looks
the
Like,
big
why do you
nostrils.
have nostrils if
To
Oh,
me,
because at the bottom of the ocean, he can't see anything, so he just needs to smell it.
but to me, it looks like he's screaming to be thrown back.
do you think his breathing, I mean his sniffing is better than a dog's? Since he lives at the bottom of the ocean, he has to rely on smell.
Depends on what he's sniffing.
Well, no, he's got gills, so he doesn't have the ability to smell like through those.
You have to be able to
nostrils.
smell through them.
Those are
shits.
all smells. Yeah, if those aren't there for sniffing, I don't
he's
know what
smoking
they're
some
there
shit
for.
down
What
there.
if the entire end of it there is all nose and cartilage, and then those are the nostrils for his nose?
I want to see the full body because I feel like he's leaving something
Yeah,
out.
what's the top look like? It looks like a shark.
It definitely looks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird looking fish, but
It
apparently
looks like a human body on the bottom part.
Well, to Trent, it looks like a fleshlight.
Fuck
you do
no.
not want to put that
You
in
see
there.
them teeth right there,
You do
dog?
not want to put that in there.
Hell
That looks painful.
All I can think of is a bite, one bite, and it's over, dog.
clearly his
he can
head
bite,
is-
he
his
can
head
bite this
is-
shit clean off.
Oh my
His
God.
head is opened up like this, and it looks like, like I said, it looks like he's screaming. So if he just closes down, you're missing a unit.
Fuck no. Barrett, I don't know who you got these pictures from, but this man is not.
Barrett has weird OnlyFans.
I'll put links in the show notes, but I just found that to be interesting. So
horrible.
This Russian fisherman catching stuff and putting.
They need to stop dumping those toxic wastes in there,
Yeah.
man. That is,
Yeah, that's probably gonna-
This is what's happening at the bottom of Lake Monticello, Barrett.
This
This is what I'm trying to tell you, man. You just going out there willy nilly. You gotta know what you're swimming with, dog.
This is what happens when a fish gets too much plastic.
All right, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
Nah, man. Just got a wedding this weekend, and starting in May, we'll start 2 shows at the Review. So be on the lookout for the flyers, man. We're taking off, man.
Very, very cool. Just a
More
reminder,
money.
Just a reminder. Make sure that if we did get nominated for the Best of Columbia Best Local Podcast, that you'll want to vote for us. We appreciate it. I'll put links at the top of the page of our homepage, theallaboutnothing.com. Also, thanks to everybody for listening. We appreciate all your support. Link in our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Maybe if you go a little further and join our growing list of patrons, head over to theallaboutnothing.com and find a link at the top for our Patreon page, or you can go directly to patreon.com/theallaboutnothing. And while you're visiting our page, go ahead and join our Discord server and join the conversation. Find the link at the top of our page.
Thank you, Nick the Geek, engineer and producer, owner and operator of GOT Sound Studio. Check out details on how you can utilize his talent and production expertise at gotsoundstudio.com. Thanks to Muff the Producer. Follow him on Instagram at Muff the Producer. Thanks to Trent Clark, aka DJ Lonzo, currently serving as the house DJ at the main course in Columbia, South Carolina. Make sure to go by and have a good time. You can contact Trent for all your entertainment needs. Trent at theallaboutnothing.com and on Instagram at TheRealDJLonzo. On Twitter at DJLonzoTop5. You can also phone him 803-262-7982. If you enjoy the show, consider becoming a patron by visiting our website and clicking at the link at the top of the browser that will take you to our Patreon page. You can find details on how you become a supporter, or you can check out benefits there and just consider a donation so that we can continue to bring you this nonsense. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy you enjoying it. As always, you can follow us on Facebook. Just search for All About Nothing US. On Twitter and Instagram at AAN_pod, or you can find links to all of our social media and available podcast platforms by visiting theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you may call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is too far apart, you can fill that time by checking out some of our partner podcasts. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Carrie and Chrissy host Status Macabre. You can find details at statusmacabre.com. Ami Bland takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland, available on all of your podcast listening platforms. As well, you should check out our own DJ Lonzo's Top 5, hosted by Trent Clark, available on most of your podcast listening platforms.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. You all stay safe and
have a week.
Good job. Good job.
This The All About Nothing podcast is recorded live from the GOT Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by Neek the Geek, owner and operator of GOT Sound Studio. To support the show, please visit theallaboutnothing.com for links to social media, merchandise, and more. Become a patron of the show by following the Patreon link at the top of our page. The All About Nothing podcast is an entertainment product of Barrett Gruber. Special thanks to Zach King, Trent Clark, Muff the producer, Neek the Geek, and you, our listeners. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you for listening.
The All About Nothing podcast is a part of the GOT Podcast Network and a product of Barrett Gruber Entertainment and Media.